Here's Peter polluting the oceans with a bag of trash.
Where do I put this? Just anywhere?
Yeah, anywhere.
Yay, people!
And here's Peter trashing his house as the garbage monster.
Hungry! Pour food on my pile!
Okay, Peter, here you go.
The Griffins sure know how to make a mess. But just how much garbage have they piled up over the years? Mountains of trash bags, broken furniture, and whatever Peter sets on fire this week, I'm digging through every single episode to find out. Starting with the episode, Switch the Flip. If there's one thing we're all guilty of from time to time, it's buying stuff we don't need. I bought an electric egg steamer last week, for example. Well, it's Brian's turn to be a compulsive shopper in the episode Switch the Flip when the family buys their own Alexa called Brandy.
Brandy? What's going on in the news?
Prince bred purple dolphins.
Wasn't there a senator shot this morning?
Brian's straight on his holier-than-thou high horse, though.
You see, right there was a time, not too long ago, when people would talk to each other.
Yeah, the bad times.
But after one of his many flings stands him up, Brian turns to Brandy for some company.
I haven't stayed up all night talking like that in forever. And thanks for suggesting I buy that Fitbit.
Customers who bought Fitbit also bought enormous exercise ball that's always in the way.
There's being sad at the fact your date dumps you, and then there's being sad to the point you talk to a machine for 12 hours straight. I don't know, I don't think it's healthy. But Brian's not even done yet. He even plans a date for them.
I like you, Brandy.
I like you too.
That's weird. You're on a weird date.
His obsession with Brandy is just the start though, because like I said earlier, his real problem is his compulsive shopping, and boy does he buy a lot of trash.
Whoa, welcome to Hodgepodge Lodge. What the hell is all this crap? Oh, just stuff Brian suggested I buy.
Stuff that he can't afford and doesn't need. He ends up buying so much rubbish that the credit card company sends goons over to take it, as well as Brandy.
Ooh, that might be the every Shark Tank item ever package.
You're way over your credit card limit.
Whoa, hold on. I didn't buy that. Peter bought that.
I know, but I need one.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys won't be familiar with repo men, but long story short, they usually collect stuff to get their money back. However, seeing as Brian bought a lot of useless stuff that he opened and now would be classified as secondhand goods, the company probably won't make much money from selling the junk, so they'll just toss it out and write it off in the next tax year. So yeah, that technically means everything Brian bought ends up being garbage. There's skis, drills, clothes, a bike, a basketball hoop, 14 boxes of rubbish on top of that, and a smattering of other junk here and there. I'd say that there's like 5 pounds of the stuff on average in each of those boxes, so that's like 70 pounds right there. As for the rest of the items, looking at the average weight of each one, I'd say there's another 170 pounds worth of stuff. So all in all, Brian's shopping binge has produced 240 pounds of rubbish. But now let's turn our attention to the time Lois had an obsession with throwing everything in the trash. Look, we've all got stuff that needs thrown away, of course, like the odd shirt we got for Christmas or some game console from 1994. Well, in Throw It Away, Trisha Takanawa writes a book with the same name where she comes up with the theory that the more you declutter, the better you're gonna feel, and Lois decides to give it a shot.
Kids, Peter! Everyone, I just read Trisha Takanawa's book and it was really inspiring.
To be fair, if you got that much stuff in a box labeled trash, there's probably a hoarding problem. Books and clothes I get, but who has some spare skis just lying around? Anyway, Lois becomes mad with it and starts forcing everyone to declutter, starting with Meg.
Oh, my voodoo doll of mom. It never worked anyway.
Ow!
Oh, keep.
Meg doesn't quite have skis, but she has a lot of clothes, books, and shoes that she's binning. She does have a small keep pile just outside the door, and when you take that into account, there's around 41 pounds of trash she's throwing out here. Seeing as Lois is covering her in Peter's room, he's been given the job of the attic.
Box of cords that go to computers from the 1980s. Keep. $70,000 in camel cash. I should have pulled the trigger on that umbrella. Keep.
I don't think he quite understands this whole declutter thing.
Peter, there's nothing in your throwaway pile.
I'm keeping everything. Everything kindles joy.
I mean, what are you even doing with this? You're a grown man.
Separate from all this decluttering, it's also the day before the garbage truck comes, so Lois readies the trash, while Peter gets an eyeful from Stewie because he thinks his dad is trying to throw away his ribbons.
I'm not getting rid of my ribbons. Oh.
I just wanted to know if I could borrow a ribbon.
We know from earlier that 2 full trash cans weigh 50 pounds and the stuff next to them probably isn't from the decluttering, as normally trash pickups don't cover things like those keyboards we saw in the attic. Plus there was a heck of a lot more stuff than one bag or box, so we can add another 25 pounds for those 2. Then Lois really goes to town on the decluttering.
I love it. Perfect.
Now, we don't see her throw the rest of the stuff out, but as you can see, nearly everything's gone. So I think the best way to handle this is to do an average amount of trash thrown out per room, There's around 13 rooms all in all in the Griffin house, including things like the garage and attic, and we know there's already a lot of cleaning done, so let's say every room has about 12 pounds of trash needing to be moved. That's about 156 pounds of trash. Oh, and when garbage day rolls around again, there's more. Plus, Brian wants to know what's next for Lois.
Lois, what's your next bored housewife seeking purpose in life project after decluttering? Vegan baking?
What's your next fake writing project? A rap opera about Grover Cleveland?
Nah, she's still firmly on the trash train, and there's gonna be another 50 pounds of trash in food and house waste. But the clutter-free life for Lois isn't as good as she'd hoped, especially when you live with Peter.
So good to be home.
Since when do you surf?
Oh, I don't.
She completely snaps and kicks Peter out of the house along with any more junk that's left over. He tries to stay at Quagmire's first, but ends up being kicked out of there too, so he has to sleep in a storage container.
Everybody thinks they can kick me out. I get to sleep with all my stuff in a storage unit on the highway access road.
In fairness to Peter, Lois is kind of going overboard with the throw it out stuff. I mean, she even tries to throw Stewie's time machine away.
I tell you to clean your rooms, and the first thing you do is put all your science projects in Stewie's closet and give me those glasses. They're cluttering up your face.
She's literally going insane, and because the rest of the family won't go along with her, she throws them out too, along with literally everything else in the house.
I cluttered my pants. It did not kindle joy.
She said goodbye to the sofa, the armchair, Stewie's crib, a mattress, more furniture, lamps, books, clothes, literally anything that isn't nailed down, essentially. The furniture alone is probably going to be around the 500-pound mark. Then for all the other electronic and random stuff, that's got to be another 700, and I'm being conservative here. So yeah, half a ton in stuff. And yeah, the house is looking pretty bare at this point.
Well, that does it. I got rid of all the clutter.
Yep, Lois has gone totally nuts. The decluttering has gone too far and she knows it, so she leaves a note for her family and decides they're better off without her.
Well, she's dead. It's a suicide note.
Don't worry though, she hasn't done anything yet. The fam finds her contemplating things on a bridge in Mount Asia, and although Peter means well, he kind of forces her hand.
Peter! Don't come any closer!
I love you!
Just as it looks like things are over for Lois, what breaks her fall? A load of old trash.
Oh my God!
After a hunk of clutter saves her life, Lois realizes that a bit of trash never hurt anybody and goes back to the way that she was. But boy, was she a clean freak in this episode. She threw out a grand total of 1,608 pounds of trash, nearly a whole ton. Imagine if she'd thrown all of Peter's stuff away. It'd be well over. When it comes to the king trash maker in the Griffin household, that title would usually go to Peter, but Stewie is not immune from causing a mess either. I mean, he is a baby after all. In the episode Absolutely Fabulous, Stewie takes part in his preschool sports day where he wins a medal.
Hey, Brian, you don't have a metal detector on you, do you?
Okay, Stewie, you got a medal. Way to go.
Do I sense a hint of jealousy?
Yeah, sounds like jealousy to me, Bri. And if being jealous wasn't bad enough, Brian's gotta add a sprinkle of being a complete jerk.
You didn't win anything. It's a participant medal. And like every other medal or award you've ever gotten, it means nothing.
What?
Stewie can't believe he's been lied to and heads to his room to look at the rest of the medals and trophies he's won.
No.
Seeing that all of his achievements are nothing more than a pat on the back for showing up, Stewie has a complete meltdown.
Everything I've ever won is worthless. You won't make a fool of me any longer.
Now, usually, Stewie's a pretty smart customer, but violently setting fire to something that big in your house is, oh, I don't know, probably gonna cause a house fire.
It's all right, Stewie. Stay calm. This is why we have a house fire captain.
The fire rages through the Griffin's house, and while most of them do get out okay, Chris is stuck inside the melting house. I wonder who will save him. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, huh? I think it's best if I let you guys unpack that one. Anyway, the damage the fire has caused to the house is huge. As you can see, the cleanup is pretty extensive. The roof has been burned through, windows blown out, bags of burnt clothing, charred furniture's on the lawn, there's burnt mattresses by the side of the house. Basically, everything inside has been turned to ash or trash. For those items alone, you're probably looking at around the 3-ton mark, and when you factor in any rubble, burnt wall fixtures, the removal of the floors, ceilings, and stuff like that, you can probably safely add another ton of trash to be taken out of the house. So Stewie's fiery outburst has managed to produce 5 tons of total trash. Living on Spooner Street can be dangerous, annoying, but it's never boring. Like, where else can something like this happen?
Wow, that was great.
If a gigantic tanker landed on your front lawn that said toxic waste, what would you do? Call the authorities, evacuate, run in terror? Not the Griffins.
Let him dream.
What is this stuff?
Yeah, some kind of nuclear waste.
Oh good, nothing too serious then. Now those tankers can usually carry around 3,000 gallons per load, and a gallon weighs 8.3 pounds, so that's 12.45 tons of nuclear waste washing over Spooner Street that'll need cleaning up. Apart from making a serious mess, the nuclear waste seems to have a crazy effect on the family.
What? Do I have a boogie? I say, it appears my cranium has doubled in size. How delightful!
Now I would add this fully grown oak tree to the trash list, but if Chris hadn't been given the gift of firebending, that tree would have weighed triple. As for the rest of the family, Brian has the power of super speed.
Ask me how the Queen of England is.
How's the Queen
She's great.
Lois has super strength, Peter can morph into anything and anyone, and Meg, well, she has her own super amazing power. The family end up terrorizing the town and doing more harm than good, to the point that Mayor Adam West tries rolling around in the toxic waste to get his own superpowers, but don't quite work out like that.
Mayor West, you have lymphoma.
Oh my.
Probably from rolling around in that toxic waste.
I see. I was trying to gain superpowers.
Well, that's just silly.
The less said about that, the better. But what's the total amount of trash caused by these heroes? Well, there's really only the tree trunk and the waste that'll need clearing up, so the amount of trash they produce in this episode's right around the 13.95 ton mark, which is like 2 African elephants for comparison. As we come to the halfway point, we've barely touched the tip of the trash iceberg, and the Griffins have already managed to rack up 19.87 tons of garbage. And trust me, their polluting power is just getting started. These next couple of entries are about to send the trash total skyrocketing. As I'm sure you guys know, Peter is quite the big eater, and in the episode McStroke, he turns to food once again after having this happen to his beloved mustache.
My mustache! No!
So after losing his mustache, Peter heads to McBurger Town with Brian to eat his feelings, and he isn't holding back.
Peter, you should really slow down.
Shut up, Brian. It relieves the pain of mustachelessness. It's working. I no longer feel the pain.
Not the most trash in the world, but it sure does its damage to Peter. I mean, who can eat 30 burgers in one sitting and feel good?
Peter, are you winking at me? Oh my God, someone call an ambulance!
He ends up having a stroke, but thanks to some handy-dandy stem cell research, he's back up and running.
How long was I in there?
About 5 minutes.
Why are we not funding this?
So, Peter's a big eater, but he's also a big drinker, and you bet that's caused him to rack up the trash, like in the episode Wasted Talent when he spends the entire night drinking with Brian.
Go, 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 go!
Peter, it's 7 in the morning.
Man, that's a lot of bottles. 135 to be precise. Well, the ones that are open anyway. There's about 1.2 pounds to a bottle, so that comes out to 162 pounds of trash. Apart from his eating and drinking habits, Peter also has a habit of causing absolute mayhem for literally no reason. Like the time he jumped into his Peter copter on Spooner Street and this happened.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Peter, what the hell?
He ends up not only destroying Joe's yard, but totaling his Peter copter to boot.
Joe! Joe, get inside! The blades are still spinning!
Peter, what is that thing?
Joe, get inside!
Seeing as the Peter copter is a pretty small chopper, it's at between the 1,000 to 2,000 pound range, but seeing as there's also extensive damage to Joe and Peter's garden with the debris that need clearing, let's go ahead and say that Peter produced a full ton of trash here. There's no better example of how destructive Peter can be though than the time he tried to impress his boss at the brewery by blowing up a competitor's billboard, but ended up just doing this.
Angela, look out your window. Well, watch this. Oh, God. This is horrible. Oh, God. Oh, that's terrible.
A children's hospital? Now, I know we're not looking at damages here, but you gotta remember that the rubble, the scorched ceilings, walls, and anything inside the building will now need to be thrown out. So with that in mind, there's likely at least 13.5 tons worth of trash needing to be removed, but what about the billboard?
Oh, good Lord, save them. Bless their Oh, okay. All right, everything worked out.
No, Peter, everything did not work out. But that is another 150 pounds of trash added to the total because those vinyl advertisement billboards aren't light. We're not gonna count the framing or anything because the metal can deal with the heat. So for this little trash causing spree, which saw Peter eat, drink, and blow stuff up, I'd say there's no way he caused less than 14.86 tons of trash. I said a little while ago that living on Spooner Street is a lot of things, and boring ain't one of them. Well, you know who knows that more than most? Cleveland. He's had to deal with Peter's shenanigans for years, and they usually end up in the same way.
What the hell? No, 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 no!
He basically totals Cleveland's house on a regular basis. That first time was with a tank, but Peter's creative with it, like the time he turned his house into a hot air balloon.
No, 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 no! I can't feel my legs!
Or the time he backs his car into Cleveland's house. That's pretty creative.
We're going to see a movie! All right, I'm gonna try something else. No, 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 no!
Basically, throughout the history of the show, Peter has been the direct cause of Cleveland's house turning to rubble a grand total of 7 times. On average, the rubble and any other damaged goods that would need to be thrown away weighs in at around 3 tons per count, but then there's also some miscellaneous trash that will need covering, like Peter's house raining debris on Spooner Street, so we can put another 3 tons on the overall figure to account for trash that may slip through the cracks, which puts the amount of trash Peter has produced by consistently targeting Cleveland's house at 24 tons, which is a little more than 2 killer whales. We're starting to crank up the weight right about now, and there's a hell lot of trash about to be made in the episode Big Fat, where Peter and the guys are doing some of their usual scheming when Quagmire convinces them to tag along with him to Montreal. No need to buy a plane ticket or anything like that because Quagmire has his own private jet.
Oh, a private plane? How'd you swing that, Quagmire?
Well, let's just say I walked in on John Travolta with not Kelly Preston.
So the guys jet off for Canada. Now obviously when you're flying on your usual plane you can't mess around, but seeing as this is a private one, Peter starts doing what he does best, being an idiot.
Fine.
It's me. I'm the man on the wing.
Are you crazy? Get back in here, Peter!
What the hell's going on back there? We're losing altitude!
Opening the plane door causes the whole thing to lose altitude and plummet to the ground. Luckily, Quagmire's a good pilot somehow, so he manages to keep the guys alive, but he can't help the crash landing. Your average pilot jet usually weighs around 70,000 pounds or 35 tons, and considering it's gonna need an extensive cleanup, you best believe we're counting the jet debris as trash. As for the guys, luckily they survived.
What happened? Did we crash?
Yeah, we crashed.
In the crash, Quagmire breaks his leg, so he stays with Joe while Peter walks to get some help. But he's gone in completely the wrong direction.
Oh, that's not good. There's nothing in that direction but wilderness for thousands of kilometers.
You're kidding.
Oh, crap. Peter!
Peter, come back!
Peter!
Peter ends up lost in the wilderness, becoming a feral beast, and when help arrives to find him, it looks like it's too late.
What the hell?
Lois and the rest of the family take him home, but this feral Peter isn't cut out for the modern world now.
We're all thinking it, and he just does it.
See what I mean? He might be a fan of the TV, but he's not a fan of normal food. He likes to eat that delicacy known as trash these days.
Come on, get out of the trash. Who threw out my sequin top?
You're 43, accept it.
I suppose that's good and eating if you're a wild animal. The Griffins give up on trying to bring their dad back and decide it's best to release him back into the wild, but Meg manages to somehow get through to him.
I love you, Dad, and no matter where you are, you'll always be my father.
Shut up, Meg.
I don't believe it!
Shut up, Meg. Shut up, Meg. You're back!
And thanks to his need to clown on Meg, the good old Peter is back. In terms of trash though, I can hardly say that this is anything out of the normal for a 5-person family. 2 full trash cans can hold right around 50 pounds. Seeing as they were overflowing, let's put that up to 53. I know it don't make that much of a difference, but let's add that to the jet wreckage from earlier to get a total of 35.02 tons. If there's one thing no one likes, it's doing chores. I don't like them, you don't like them, and Peter Griffin, he really don't like them. But in Island Adventure, Lois forces him and the kids to start cleaning out the garage, and boy is it a mess.
This sucks, Mom.
Yeah, come on, Lois. You know I have plans today to go see Pervert Hamlet.
To be fair, if I had tickets for Pervert Hamlet, I too would want to finish work. But alas, poor Peter, it's time to clean. Well, I say clean, Peter just figures out he can dump all this stuff.
Quick, before your mother gets back, everything in the garbage.
Just for ease here, I'm only gonna count the stuff we see them throw away, as I'd imagine the other stuff in the garage is gonna be tidied up. But there's 2 trash cans full of stuff, that's 50 pounds, so you got at least 10 bags of trash scattered around at an average of 15 pounds per bag. Then there's 6 boxes filled with junk at around 8 pounds apiece. Then we'll add another 25 pounds with random stuff like the plunger, any clothes, and Stewie's trike. So that's about 273 pounds. Oh, and yeah, I did just say Stewie's trike.
Brian, have you seen my big wheel? I can't find it anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. that Peter threw out a bunch of stuff from the garage yesterday.
Threw it out? But today is our trash pickup day.
To try and get his beloved big wheel back, Brian takes him to the Quahog dump, but there's just too much trash to get through.
There's just so much garbage.
While rolling around and it won't help Brian. Bruce tells them that all the trash is usually taken away to a special dumping site off the coast of Quahog, so if they want Stewie's trike back, that's where they'll find it.
Oh my God, Brian, look! We made it to Garbage Island!
God, I don't believe it. Whoa, look at all the packaging from Mickey D's.
Okay, so that's a bit bigger than I expected. While looking, Brian finds an old VCR laying around and figures he'll take it back to the boat to keep. Another man's trash and all that.
Hey, check it out, a VCR just sitting here. I'm taking this sucker home. Oh, crap.
Well, technically, Brian sinking their small boat is technically polluting and putting trash in the sea, so seeing as it's a very small but wooden sailboat, it weighed no more than 145 pounds, but still a pretty impressive number for an accident. With nothing better to do, Brian and Stewie go back to looking for the trike, but it turns out they're not alone on Trash Island.
Get back home? Why would we want to do that?
We've got everything we need here. There's tons of free, half-eaten food that washes up.
We just bang each other all day.
That, doesn't sound terrible.
After putting together a search party, Stewie heads out to find his wheels while Brian hits up the booze and lives the island life. But when Stewie finds his trike eventually, Brian don't want to go back anymore to the trash-free world.
Home? I don't think I want to go home. What? I'm saying I like it here on Garbage Island.
So Stewie puts his mind to work and makes a machine out of the junk that'll get him home, with or without Brian. Might have just told a wee little white lie. Turns out Stewie wasn't heading home, he was towing home. Yep, his trike managed to pull the whole island back to Quahog. Brian's got no choice but to come home now, and anyway, now he's got all the trash he could ever want. There's a lot to unpack here. In terms of regular trash, 418 pounds were made or thrown out. But what Stewie did at the end there can't go unnoticed. Sure, the original trash on that island had nothing to do with him, but he found it and dragged it right onto the shore of Quahog. Think of it this way, if you found an old tire and dropped it in the middle of the road, would you be at fault if there was a crash, even though the tire was someone else's originally? Of course. So there's no real way of knowing how much trash there is on that island. But going from the wide shot of it, it's gotta be at least 5 miles long and 3 miles wide, so that's 15 square miles. In 1 square mile, there looks to be around 22 million tons of trash. I mean, there's literal mountains on that island for crying out loud. But we're not done. We then gotta multiply that by 15 to get the total amount, which comes out to a staggering 330 million tons of trash being towed onto Quahog shore, thanks to a stupid trike. But we're not done. We know the Griffins have lived on Spooner Street since 1999, and every week their trash cans are full to the brim ready to be collected, like this.
Too bad. Goodbye, dream. That's actually supposed to go in a separate collection for e-waste, which is the last Friday of every month.
And like we saw in Big Fat, they got around 50 pounds of trash to give out a week, so let's say that that's their weekly average. That would be 50 pounds a week for 1,361 weeks, which gives us another 34 tons of good old-fashioned garbo.
Can someone take out the garbage?
I will! Yeah! Yeah! Smash! Boom!
Someone stop him. Last time he threw out a whole bedroom.
I'm still in here!
Which brings their full trash total up to a bin-busting 330,127.5 tons, or 734 Statues of Liberties. Well, that's all the trash talk we got for you today, but if you're looking for some more Family Guy fun, then head on over to our channel. Or if you're wanting to keep that binge going, click the video on screen right about now for another wild ride like this one. And as always, thanks for watching.